You look tired.
I'm in one of the moods. I don't know. It's one of those terrible ones.
You're going through your terrible twos.
Yeah, I'm in my terrible twos at almost 3 o'clock. So
that means it's almost out of terrible twos. You're going to be in your terrific threes.
It goes from terrible twos. Terrible twos goes all the way to about 5. So that's not going to be good. The good thing is you're going to get to go back to work. So you're not going to have to put up with me for the rest of my life.
That's a good thing.
Somebody's got to work around here.
Yeah.
And Lord knows I'm not getting it done.
That's not true, and don't say that. You are off on medical. You have a legitimate reason not to be working.
Yeah.
But you're working it. So I thought I read a Reddit, so I thought we could read a Reddit and share it and see what our thoughts are on it. So
works on that.
All right. So the title is, I Feel Like I'm Settling, or is this just what long-term relationships are like? I'm 34 female, and I have been with my partner 37 male for 6 years, and we got engaged last year. This is my first long relationship. Prior to this, I was only dating or with people for 3 to 6 months, as I was pretty busy with work and looking after my mom. I really do feel like my current relationship is healthy, but over the last year or so, I have slowly felt less in love with him. I feel absolutely terrible about it, but because he is an incredible partner. He cares for me, supports me, prioritizes me, respects me, understands me. He helps with chores. He wants the same goals. He earns good money. He works hard. He's fantastic in bed. I have depression, anxiety, and various autoimmune diseases that completely destroy my drive on a regular basis. Sometimes it can go 4 to 6 weeks without any, because I just can't bring myself to get in the mood, or I'm too tired. It really sucks, and I'm consistently stressed out about it, which tanks even further. I know that it bothers him, but he's pretty patient and doesn't push the issue too much. The issue is, I don't feel attracted to him or madly in love anymore. He doesn't make me laugh. He doesn't like the same games as me, and if I convince him, he just gets frustrated while we play, so I have a bad time. His mannerisms have started annoying me sometimes. He gets frustrated easily over nothing sometimes, and it gives me the ick. He is so dramatic when he's even slightly sick, and it turns me off. He complains about little things a lot. There are just lots of little things that are totally meaningless in the grand scheme of things, but all makes me feel less in love with him. I love him and I care for him immensely. I still do lots of romantic things and spoil him, and I have had such a hard time even bringing any of this up to him because he is so sweet. He doesn't deserve to be hurt, but I don't feel in love or attracted anymore. He isn't my usual type, but because he was such a great person initially, it didn't matter to me. As I get older and we start thinking about setting our wedding date and planning for kids or buying a home, I don't feel excited. I feel anxious and a sense of dread. I feel panicked at the thought. I feel like a me problem.
Engaged.
Part of me thinks I'd be crazy to break up and look for someone else at my age, especially since he is really such a nice and loving person, and all the issues I have are my issues, I feel. I know it's toxic, but I find myself comparing our relationship to others online, where couples look madly in love and thirst for each other even after 5 years of marriage. I know I shouldn't. Is this just what long-term relationships are like? Is it normal to feel slightly irritated by your husband and want more me time as time goes on? And is that the sign we are not meant to be? Is it normal to lose attraction but still care for them as a person? Don't get me wrong, I still love spending time with him, but I also value my alone time, and I find myself needing space away from him to do my own thing. Is it settling if I just stay because there are 90 good things and only 10 bad things? Is it bad to settle? Surely there are no 100% perfect relationships. Or maybe there are and I'm not in one.
No, there's not.
I don't know. I didn't have much to compare to growing up since my mom was a single mom and I am. All my friends think we have couple goals and want to be like us. So I feel like it's me who's been dramatic and unreasonable for wanting to break up with someone because he doesn't make me laugh. I guess I just really feel alone and unsure of what to do or what long-term marriage looks like. So first,
that was a big book.
I know, winded, right? So first, let's address, is this just what long-term relationships are like? Is it normal to feel slightly irritated by your partner and want more me time as time goes on?
I believe so. I mean, and not as a negative or derogatory manner, but if you spend a lot of time with somebody and you don't like, and every couple is going to be different, right? We spend a lot of time together, but even us, I annoy you sometimes to the point you're just like, I can tell that I should probably get my hockey helmet because you're going to throw punch me.
Which I would never do, but
no, but I'm using that as an example. If you're with somebody a lot, and I mean like a lot of hours during the day, you do need your own. You need your own downtime. You have to be your own individual person as well as a partner. I mean, you can't be one if you don't have the other.
Well, I think I agree with that, but I have heard this 80-20 thing. Like you can't expect to get 100% of everything that you need from one person. You were not designed that way. And you guys were individuals before you were together. Now,
and the longer you're an individual, the harder it is to, not really the harder it is, but you have to retain that. You have to keep more of your individualism because it makes who you are.
Well, I think what you mean is you have to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
But if it's the right person for you, you guys will grow, you will ebb and flow together. Maybe she's growing a little bit quick, or he's growing a little bit quicker than she's growing. And maybe she's just,
he might be frustrated and depressed too, which is just adding fuel to the fire.
Well, yeah, we don't know, but I mean, do I think this is normal in long-term relationship? Yes, I do. There's ebb and flows, there's growth, there's dry spots, there's a whole number of things that happen, but you have to determine, is this person worth the bad times as much as the good times?
Yeah, because love and long term is love is a choice. It doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
It's a choice. I mean, the interests, the spark, the fire, whatever you want to call it, that happens. But the love that follows all that is a choice. And it will always be a choice.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
Well, and I think you have to continue to choose a person even when you don't like the person. Because the person...
You can not like somebody and still love somebody.
Well, I think to her point, she's asking, is she settling? I don't think it's settling.
She's got 90% to the plus. She's doing far better than most.
There's that, but I also... kind of what I'm getting is you're expecting 100%. You're not ever going to get 100%. Nope. And the whole being in love, to your point, love is not a feeling, it's an action. Choice. Are you going to choose him? And are you going to choose to be honest in that love that you have for him and say, this is what I'm struggling with, how do we make it through? Because if you're not willing to do that, if you're not willing to say, this is how I'm feeling, then that's where I'm like, that's the issue, is you're not communicating with him, telling him this is how I'm feeling. And depending on his reaction, are you more afraid of his reaction than he's going to break up with you because you're unhappy? Or is the fear that he's going to be completely understanding and then you're going to have to stay? You don't have to stay. You can leave anytime you want to leave.
It's still a choice.
And my thing for this is like, dude, you sound like you have an amazing, good man. And you don't see what you have for the value that it is. You are still waiting for something more.
I was reading something actually earlier today. It was actually a topic that we might actually try to hit on sometime in the near future. It's about myths in relationships. And you're kind of touching on one of them, and I wish I had it in front of me to look, but it talks about that, right? It talks about that 20%. You know, I lost my train of thought. I can't remember where I was going with it, but at any rate, there's a lot of myths that people that seem to believe. You know, they believe like I know where I was going with it. Like you're gonna meet this person and it's gonna be easy, right? There's gonna be
Yep.
no, there's just gonna happen. It's gonna flow. It's gonna be 100%.
Every day
No,
is going to be like
it
the
is an
first magical
absolute
day.
yeah. It's an absolute myth. Every relationship is going to require work. Now, the degree of work is going to vary between people, but there's always going to be work. You have to compromise in a relationship, and that compromise is going to be that 10%, right?
20%, yeah.
Well, in her case, it's the 10%, right? She said he's 90% the right guy and 10% not it. You're not going to ever find that 100%. It's a myth. So you have a choice to make, and that choice is going to depend on which way you go.
Yeah. So her second question was,
And you probably never find if he fits 90% of your bill, you're probably not going to ever find anybody that fits more than that bill than he does.
yeah, my concern with this is that she mentioned, well, he's not normally my type. Well, did your type work out or did your not type work out?
You're in a long-term relationship with this guy and he wasn't quote unquote your type, but your type only lasted 3
Six
to
months.
6 months.
Yeah.
So I think he's more your type than you think he is.
Sometimes people weigh too much on the physical.
Yeah.
Attraction isn't, there are physical attractions. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that sometimes it's like, well, he's just not attractive anymore. Do you feel secure? Do you feel safe? Do you feel wanted? Do you feel cared for? Do you feel heard? That's where the ultimate attraction comes from is, yeah,
Some people confuse attraction
with
with
lust.
lust,
Yep.
right? There's two big,
Massive
massively
difference.
different things.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. So her second question, is it normal to lose attraction but still care for them as a person?
Her loss of attraction of him, I don't think is necessarily of him. She had stated that she's got a lot of physical problems,
No.
anxiety.
No.
Well, but she said autoimmune too.
Mm-hmm.
Autoimmune's a physical thing. So there's several different variables that are affecting her and changing the way she sees things. I don't think she has necessarily the lost the attraction of him. I think the stuff that she's going on is diluting what she's seeing. If that makes any sense,
Yes.
right? So,
She's lost attraction in herself. So she
which
feels
is
like she's not
yeah,
attracted to him.
exactly, which is playing on that, is diminishing her feelings for him in a physical stance.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Is it settling if I just stay because there's 90% to 10%? Is it bad to settle?
90%, I don't see that as settle.
I see that as excel at whatever it is you're doing, sister,
I think
because
it's a pretty damn good number right there.
like my thing is that
Now, if it was 10%, then you might be settling. But if he's 90%, I think you got a pretty. I mean, I don't know the guy, but
yeah.
it seems like he's fitting the bill pretty well.
The only thing that I can come up with is like people are in a relationship and somebody's getting a side piece and they end up jumping ship and going to the side piece. You settling, bro. You had 80% and you gave up your 80% for that 20%.
Most people don't realize that when it comes to this kind of off track a little bit, but if somebody has a side, quote unquote, side piece, that side piece will always have that title. They'll never change. It'll always be a side piece. There's just no two ways about it.
Yeah. You You don't break up a relationship if you're unhappy. Communicate. Tell the person like I'm not happy, and
Yeah,
then go find somebody.
yeah. I think that if she definitely probably could use some therapy, talking to somebody who has a better grasp on what her mental train
Need,
of thought
needs
is,
are, yeah.
right? And even at that point, even after you get a little bit of that, even I mean, the guy sounds like he's pretty cool, so he might even be up for a little bit of couples therapy on top of that, if it comes to that point.
I wonder if she's feeling like she isn't pulling her weight, and maybe she's getting a feeling, and this is just kind of off the wall, of maybe she feels like he's the one settling and not her. Because
And
all she said was like, he's
she's
great, he's great,
transferring
he's
that.
great, he's great.
Yeah,
Are we settling? Or am I settling because I'm just not attracted to him anymore? Well, what did he do to make you feel like you weren't attractive? Step one.
yeah.
Step two, you need to communicate that to him. And step three, is it really you that feels like you're settling? Because what you're saying is he's an absolutely fantastic person.
Right.
How could you even remotely
And
even,
he's such a great guy. You don't want to force him to settle,
yeah.
which I think it could very, you might be onto something there. It could very well be. There's a lot of people that will displace that feeling, what they're feeling, onto somebody else, just so they don't make themselves feel bad even more.
Well, especially if, like the other person, when she was mentioning about their sex life, if there was something, if he reacted a certain way because he was in the mood and she wasn't, and it a look crossed his face which started this whole thing. It could be something really small like that. It doesn't have to necessarily be like he sat down and been like, well, why are we, I don't know. I wonder if, I feel like there's more to that story than that, because to hit the way that she presented it, you'd have to be an idiot to say you're
And you
settling.
know what? Not all guys want sex all the time, right? There are guys that they don't need it all the time. It can go 2, 3, 4 weeks, not even bat an eye. If the relationship is right
It's not
and
about the sex.
it's not about the actual physical sex, there's a lot of stuff that can go into a relationship: the playing around, the chasing each other, the dirty comments back and forth, or the dirty peeks.
But you have to be careful with that, because the other
Yeah,
partner may be pursuing that as, they're not taking initiative.
well, it
Are they
all
really attracted to me?
it all relies to the communication, which we have talked about before. Communication is very heavy in making a relationship work. But I'm just addressing just the physical aspect of it. Just because you go weeks and not have that physical connection doesn't mean that it's bad, right? A physical connection is needed for a relationship to be good, but it doesn't have to be every week, every day, every hour, right? It can go. You might go 2 or 3 times in a week, and then you might not go for 2 months. As long as,
Uh,
depending on the schedule and how things work out and the rest of it, right? Don't hang up on that one little
piece of it.
physical hook, right? And I think that's what I'm trying to get across, is that 4 to 6 weeks is not, depending on your life, your schedules, the stuff you do in those weeks, doesn't necessarily mean you have to have that physical hook. You can wait that 4 to 6 weeks if it works out. We're busy. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. It doesn't mean it's bad, I guess is what I'm trying to get to.
And I agree with that to a certain point.
Yes.
Like you have to want to make that connection. Um and you have to be very mindful of, one partner may want or need to feel wanted or fulfilled weekly, and
But
the other partner may not. It may not cross their mind, and it may get very, very frustrating
right.
for the partner who's like, I'm trying to connect with you but you're not picking up signals. even after conversations are had, like there's a whole slew of possibilities that you could potentially go into in this scenario. But I'm just saying, like, is she
That's where that
perceiving?
communication I was talking about. That's where it's key.
I understand, but at some point, there's going to have to be a compromise where growth is going to have to be from both sides, and it's not going. That was a bad word to use, but like advancements are going to have to be made from both parties because one party doesn't always want to feel like they're nagging for it while the other is just like do every once in a while. Like it gets frustrating. I can understand where if she felt that way, but she was on the other side where it's not that she doesn't want to, it's just that she physically can't. For a woman, that's like, okay, can I fulfill his needs? Because if I don't, he's going to step out.
No, but you know what? If he loves you, he's still not going to step out.
But that's a hard thing for people
hard.
to grasp, especially in the world today, especially if she has past trauma.
Yep. Oh, I agree. 100%.
So you just have to be careful and communicate and
yep.
have those conversations with your significant other because
and good conversation, good deep conversation that or communication that allows the vulnerability between the two of you to actually be talked about.
Yeah.
Because without that vulnerability, the communication is not it's not going to get deep enough into the problem to actually fix it.
You're vulnerably productive.
Yes. And without that, you might smooth it out a little bit, but you're not going to get to the root problem. You're not going to get down to the nitty gritty for sure.
No. Nope. And you have to be very, very careful for sure. It'll be interesting. There was no updates on this.
No.
No. So I didn't find any updates to see maybe if she ended up calling it quits or continuing to work on.
Yeah.
But hopefully, my wish for them is that they open up communication and they have that conversation and they, whether she needs therapy or not, I'm not going to say that because everybody does, I feel like, but
everybody could use a good therapist.
A good one, but there's not good ones.
There's
very often they just throw pills at you.
Well, yeah, when it comes to there's kind of an unspoken rule when you're looking if you decide to actually have therapy on that level, don't be afraid to go to different ones because the first one you come across you may not mesh with with.
Yeah.
I had to go to several. My son, he goes therapy for other issues, and he told me he says his therapy he went through 3 or 4 of them right off the rip until he found one that he really liked. So don't let the first one or the second one or the third one diminish your desire to have the therapy because you will find one eventually, and that's when the foot's going to hit the asphalt and it's going to do you some really good.
Yeah, absolutely,
for sure.
Well, hopefully they worked it out and they.
I wanted to remind everybody that we only ask for you guys to help us out. We ask you guys to help us out a little bit to hit that like, hit that follow, share it with somebody. If you know somebody that might be going through something like this, or maybe not this directly, but
or something similar that can help them.
That might have a friend or whatever, send it to them, right? Share it with them and let them dig around and see what they can't come up with. The way to do that would be to obviously hit those buttons. If you or somebody if they want to contact us, have maybe ask us some questions to get our take on it, they can do that.
You can either email, you can message us on Happy Household Podcast on Facebook, Instagram.
Happy Household Podcast at gmail.com is the email. You can send us. We all,
You can put comments on the YouTube ones. There's a lot of different ways to get feedback.
Social media is nothing new. Podcasting nothing new for most of us. You guys know. There's no sense of.
My question for you is though.
Me?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Was there any red flags in your past relationships that you overlooked in an effort to say, well, I've got 80% of what I need. Maybe the 20% is like a red flag. But in that 20%, were the red flags really big red flags.
Yeah. Yep. There's quite a few of them I looked over. I don't want to say quite a few. Uh, the one red flag, a major red flag that I remember right off the rip in my past was that I was I when I started dating my ex-wife, and I thought everything was okay. At some point, um, just as a little backstory, her her husband before me had an accident,
Hmm.
died. It was completely, I felt bad for the whole thing because the kids suffered, she suffered, whatever.
Yeah.
But one of the it was a complete coincidence. We happened to be cleaning something or sorting something, and I came across his picture, and there's a picture. He was in a baseball cap, and his picture in that particular pose with the baseball cap looked exactly like me. Therefore, my first train of thought was, okay, this woman is not necessarily seeing me for me. She is seeing me for him.
Okay.
Was that the case? No idea. Don't know, never will know. I only have speculation. But that was one of the first major red flags that I saw that I picked up on. Now, it may not even have been a flag at all. I don't know. But for me, it was a red flag. Like, that was a thing that was in the back of my head all the time. For several months, okay, is she going to be able to decipher the difference between him and I? Is the feelings that she has for him being projected on me because she sees the similar traits?
Hmm.
Don't know. Maybe that was the case
Maybe.
because obviously that didn't work,
No.
right? So for whatever the case is, for whatever the reason that we are where we're at right now, that was one of the big red flags I can remember. And I tripped over that flag for a long time. Probably should have picked that one up and kept it with me, but
That's okay.
it was, you know, everything happens for a reason. So even knowing what I know now and where I'm at now, I would still play it the same way because I believe I am where I am at right now is where I was supposed to be.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So even if it wasn't, I still would, if I could go back and know what I know now, I still wouldn't change it. I still would play it just the same. So I knew I landed in the same spot where I'm supposed to be and be the person that I'm supposed to be where I'm at right now.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
About you?
I'm going to use the simple answer yes.
There's several red flags, huh? Of course, I know most of the story, so there was a lot of red flags, but
And this is where I have a hard time with the whole settling because I I knew I wasn't I loved him, but I wasn't in love with him. And I felt like we got married for the wrong reasons. I felt like I knew he was young and he just needed to grow up, but he never really did. So there's a lot of red flags that I think I overlooked because I was so sick of being alone and it was the first guy who really kind of paid attention. Um I wouldn't say that I settled, but there are a few things that I think I would have done differently.
yeah,
I think I and that's not because of I mean I have my own trauma from it, but it's because my choices affected my kids.
well, yeah.
If I would have left sooner, um
You know what the butterfly effect is, right?
I
Because
don't believe in that.
you don't believe in that?
No. Um I can't go back and change it.
Right.
It is what it is, and I don't regret a moment of my kids. Um, but if I could go back and change something, it would be the impact it had on them. But you can only do so much when the other party won't help themselves. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
a relationship, it definitely has to take two. You both have to be on the same field. You both have to be playing with the same deck of cards.
well,
Because if you're not,
yeah,
it's just not gonna work out the way you want it to.
yeah.
But as the butterfly effect, um,
I know what it is, and I don't care.
okay. Well, for you out there, is if you go back and you change one small thing, can make a huge change in the future. So that's why I said that I wouldn't go back and change it, because I know where I landed is where I was supposed to be. Yeah, was it rough? Yes. It was terrible on my kids. I mean, my heart breaks because of that. But um, I think that I think it happened that way for a reason. And I don't think I'd go back and change it because I know it's supposed to happen for a reason.
I think for me, that whole butterfly effect thing is I didn't listen to the Lord when He told me to walk away the first time. And so I always get the image of basically what you're saying is I could have catastrophically ruined everything else. I don't believe that.
Well,
Because if I had followed what the Lord had for me originally, maybe I could have found this bliss a lot sooner. My kids could have found this a lot sooner. You could have found this a lot sooner. Like I just feel like that whole image of I was holding on to this tiny little teddy bear that was so important to me, all while the Lord had this giant, awesome teddy bear just waiting, and all He was saying is just trust me, just trust me. So when I finally said enough's enough, and I was like, okay, Lord, I need you to take it from here. I need you to take the wheel and guide me from here. That is when the big teddy bear came out. And
yeah,
I don't feel like it's in essence the same thing. It's just a different view on it. Like
right.
I don't feel I would go back and change things because one, he didn't see my worth. Why did I stay?
Well,
Two,
yeah,
he didn't see the worth of the kids. So it irreparably messed up the kids. If my choice caused pain for someone else, I would change it in a heartbeat and make it to where it was only my pain.
yeah,
Now, I don't regret a moment with my kids, and I love my kids, and I couldn't imagine my life without my kids. But if my choice to leave at the time that I originally left prevented them from ever feeling what they feel from a parent, heartbeat, I would do it. Because that's the worst part of it, is that I wanted what I wanted. I kept what I wanted, not thinking about the fact that this is going to potentially hurt the people I love the most in this world. And ultimately, that is what ended up happening.
yeah.
Not through my choices
But there,
necessarily from like when it ended, but like you get what I'm saying. Like I would change if I could change the outcome, I would change the outcome.
yeah. No, I don't disagree with that.
I gotta go back to work.
I do say one last thing is though that the pain that they endured could very well make them put them way farther ahead. Like the girls are farther ahead in a lot of situations. They are a lot more mature and they're a lot more decent. I'm not more decent, but of kids their age.
But their pain would be their own pain, and it wouldn't be a pain that I set in motion.
Yeah, but that goes back of placing the blame on you. It wasn't you that did it.
I'm not saying I'm the one that did it. I'm saying that my choice not to walk away when I had the chance to walk away before they were even a thought,
Right.
so that they never felt an ounce of pain. It's a really hard thing as a parent to live with that.
Yeah. To know that you did your kid's pain is hard to swallow.
Now, I didn't ultimately make the choice to hurt them, but I had a hand in not walking away and potentially finding them a better father.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't have the kids that I have. And like I said, I don't regret a moment. I would I love them.
Right.
It's if I could get the same kids but have you as their dad, I think I would be, not that their dad is a horrible person now. I see it all coming to fruition now, but in the moment, if I could spare them an ounce of pain, I would. And he would wish the same thing.
No. I mean,
But
everything happens for a reason.
yep,
So,
and that's a good ending point. Is
as and for the people that we haven't been hitting our quota every week like we have been, just so you guys know that life has been busy here, because we're doing side hustles and work and stuff, and we've
it's not
been
even that. We have a
yeah.
lot going on with the kids.
So we might kick back to twice a month, every other week, for a while until after the first year or so, until we get back into the groove of everything else. So just be aware that just because for the ones that do follow, that little ding that says that we posted may not go off as often, and so we're just trying to give you a heads up so you guys know that no, you didn't miss it. We just didn't get it done.
Well, it's not that we didn't get it done. We just, our priority will always be our family. We want that for the same for you guys. And everybody knows with holidays and
Yep.
it's that time of year where kids are getting sick, school activities are picking up, vacations, court visits and things like that, or not court visits, parental visits and things like that are all just kind of happening. So we just got a lot on our plate, and we want to be consistent with you guys and let you guys know that, we didn't miss because we were purposely just like, whatever. It was just,
We've been busy.
it's been crazy busy the last couple months for us, and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down until probably mid-January, possibly after that, because
It may not be till a wedding, so we don't know.
well, God, I hope not. That's not true. But if you guys, anybody needs anything, let us know. We're here. Other than that, we will talk at you guys in the next one.
Until next time.
Bye.